Welcome back in, folks. My name is Joseph Igo, and today we are discussing the state of Phoenix Raceway. So, Phoenix Raceway, obviously, championship venue for NASCAR, has come under a lot of scrutiny in the past couple years, given, just the racing product as a whole is not the most entertaining there, especially given that it's the championship track. You know, People have a lot bigger of expectations for a championship hosting venue. But there's a lot of good points on both sides, so I kind of just want to tackle what the future is for Phoenix Raceway and where the raceway stands at the moment, because it is a very hot point of discussion in the NASCAR universe. But so I was at the race yesterday, and having been there, I mean, I gotta be honest, I think the racing still was not very good. And a lot of people are praising the option tire, but as far as I'm concerned, all that really did was bring cars from the back to the front that probably had no business being there. And I feel like we saw that at Richmond too. Like, Daniel Suarez is running like middle of the pack, or even closer to the back, throws on the option tire, goes right to the front. Same thing happened yesterday with Daniel Suarez. And then you saw, Ryan Preece. You saw Austin Cindric. You saw, I think, Justin Haley and some of these other guys, Ross Chastain even, and Chastain's pretty good at Phoenix, but some of those other guys are just not guys who you really think of to be in the mix at Phoenix. And we saw when the race started that those guys were nowhere to be seen anywhere near the front. So to me, it's just putting a Band-Aid on the whole issue that we have at Phoenix, which is that the racing just sucks and nobody can pass each other. But, I mean, the big thing here with Phoenix, it ends up being just single file the whole time when everybody's on the same tires. And people are going to say, oh, well, the option tire, people are able to pass. But it's like, it's not cars that deserve to pass. Like, these cars don't deserve to be up there because they're not good cars. They're only good because of you have a different type of tire on, I get it. People will use the argument, oh, well, you kind of have a different tire on if you have just newer tires of the same type. But it's just different. It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't equate to the same. They're not the same thing. Some people might disagree with me. I don't like it. Is what it is. But I mean, but this is the thing with Phoenix, is it's a great venue. It is an incredible venue. The stadium is awesome. The infield experience is really, really good. And I really do like Phoenix Raceway. That's the problem, is that it is a very fun place to go, and it is a great place to experience a NASCAR race. The only problem is the racing sucks, unfortunately. And a lot of people have argued, the racing has always sucked there, which I do agree to an extent, but we got to do something about it. And I think if they're not going to reconfigure this place, which, if you ask me, I think that's probably where they should go next, is to reconfigure that place, maybe adding some banking in the corners, and I don't know if it's possible, but maybe straightening out the dog leg. We just got to do something, because I don't think this is a sustainable product at Phoenix. And I think the tires we do have some hope with the tires, just not the option tire as you see here. I would like it to be no hard tire, just bring the soft tire and let them just use that and let them have to deal with that on the track, because that's where you'll see the real skill. Because that's the problem, because everybody's like, oh, well, the option tire allowed you to pass, but it's like, it's not actual skill. There's no actual skill to that. Like, yeah, I could throw a set of better tires on my car and go right to the front, but that's the thing with, like, if everybody's on the same tire, everybody's gonna have to be saving tires, and it'll show who the better car is at saving tires. Like, that's the skill I want to see. I don't want to see the skill of, oh, I just decided to put on my better tires at this specific time, and then it just launches me to the front. Like, what's that, skillful from the crew chief? Like, and I'm not trying to discredit crew chiefs in any way, but like, I just don't think there's any racing skill involved in that. So I definitely just don't want to see the option tire come back. If we've got to test it a couple more times to make sure we get the right compound for when we commit to just one type of tire, fine. Do that at Martinsville. Do that at Bristol. Do that at Dover. Fine. If you want to do that, fine. This cannot be in the championship race. It absolutely cannot be. It will just be a meme of a race at that point. So cannot do that. But I think the bigger debate with Phoenix Raceway is, you know, is this worthy of being a championship venue? I mean, as far as the racing goes, no. As far as the stadium and everything is concerned, I'm a pretty close to a yes on that. The one big thing I'll have to say though is that the traffic and parking there is atrocious. And I know a lot of people will tell me, "Oh, well, it's like that at every single track," and that, you know, it could be worse, which I get it. It certainly could be, but for me personally, it was terrible yesterday. It took me longer from the second I got to the track to park. It took me longer to do that than it took me to get from my house to the track. That's a problem, in my opinion. So, yeah, and I don't know how you fix that necessarily, but I would say this should not be a championship venue every single year. I would be okay with it if you maybe make it kind of like a rotation with, Homestead and maybe a Kansas or something, and you rotate the tracks of the championship. I think I think where this race perfectly slots in is the round of 8, because you'll have Vegas in the round of 8. If you keep Vegas there, then throw maybe Phoenix in there, and then Martinsville, and then do the championship at Homestead. That's what I would do. That would be my perfect, conclusion of the year, if you will. But as far as Phoenix being the championship race, I just think the racing's too boring at the moment. If you're able to get the tire in a right place to potentially wear more and actually show off the driver's skill, I think Phoenix Raceway is a great place to host a championship, because we always pack it out at Phoenix, and it's in a great market. The weather's always good, great facilities. It's just that racing sucks there right now. And I think we can fix it if we get this tire to wear a lot more than it does. And I'd have to go back and look at, how the race played out and the lap times over those green flag runs we had yesterday among the cars that were on the specific types of tires and how each one played out. I know Goodyear will be looking at that, and so will NASCAR, to determine where they go from here. But as far as things are concerned, though, really like Phoenix. I still think it deserves 2 dates on the schedule. But for me personally, I cannot keep this as a championship racetrack as of now until they get their racing issues sorted out. Still think it should be in the round of 8, because I do think, when the fans pack this place out, it makes going to this racetrack very valuable for NASCAR. And I think maintaining it, giving it a round of 8 race, maintains that second fall race being a big race, but it's not the championship race. So, and I think you'll still get as many fans out there for that race as you would for a championship race, because this city just loves NASCAR too much, and the surrounding areas flock to Phoenix for this race. So, yeah, I to finish things off, I really like Phoenix Raceway. We just really need to get the racing figured out here. And I think it still can be a track that is on that championship rotation. We just need to figure it out as far as the racing is concerned. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think the state of Phoenix Raceway is. Should it stay? Should it go? Should it have 1 date? Should it keep 2 dates? Should it still even be in the championship rotation? All that, comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching. God bless.